Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Out of Thoughts and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
I'm your other host, Nero.
And we're a third of the way through what is quite possibly the worst piece of Transformers media ever created.
It's up there. I'm not confident in saying it's the worst, but it is. Yeah. It's a stinker.
Now, I do take a little bit of umbrage with what you posted on Blue Sky today, Nero, saying that's the worst thing you've watched for Prime Cuts.
I said the worst thing I watch. That's true. I didn't. I said Energon.
But you said Energon. Yeah, it's saying including Energon.
That's true. I didn't watch Energon.
My good Judy, you did not watch Energon.
Look, Superlink still sucked ass. Let us not mince words here. Superlink was not good.
Yes, I'm aware, but it wasn't as bad as Energon. I have it on good authority.
That is correct. This is, I don't know if it's worse than Energon. It's Energon is longer, so I feel like that does give it the edge of like what's worse.
Yeah. Do you remember like the 15 episodes that continued on in Energon after it ended, basically?
Yeah, the bonus episodes.
Well, no, just like the fact that there's like 15 more episodes after they kill Unicron.
Yeah, it's like, well, we don't know how to end it. We just keep it going, I guess.
Yeah. But these aren't good either, and the saving grace is that there's only 6 of them in this one, and like 18 overall. The saving grace is that it will be 2 months of this.
Yeah, instead of like
and
half a year.
And then it's done forever.
Which,
yeah,
to be
and
fair,
then it's done forever.
The Energon season had a bunch of delays. It wouldn't have normally lasted that long, just things coalesced in such a way that Energon was eternal.
Well, I mean, it would have been half a year without that. It was longer than half a year.
God.
It was like 8 months because of all the delays. And this will also be longer than 2 months because of delays. Guess who's leaving the country again? This bitch. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll be, we're giving everybody a break between this and Earthrise, which I'm sure will be such a wonderful improvement, almost certainly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a shame because, like, after last week, I thought we might get, like, something of a reprieve because last week's episodes weren't good, but they were better than the first 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I wasn't expecting anything good, but I was expecting at least, like, a plateau.
Yeah.
These sucked. These were really bad episodes.
It's a bad ending to a bad show. It's an ending that makes the show, like, worse somehow.
Yeah. And we're, to that note, we are watching episode 5 and 6 because no names. We're dark and gritty.
That's right.
Of Siege today.
So episode 5 starts out with.
I have, by the way, 4 notes for these episodes total.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
I mean, I remember what happened. I just didn't care to write anything down.
Well, all that really matters is that later in this episode, Bumblebee pulls off the worst heist of all time, asked to leave the Autobots.
To be clear, he doesn't actually pull it off.
That's true. It literally doesn't work.
He doesn't pull it off.
I'll have a lot to say about that whole situation because there's a lot going on there. But before that, we get to...
Sound Blaster pissed me off.
Oh, boy. We get to start off with the Decepticons here. They finally figured out that Ultra Magnus's death caused some kind of broadcast across the Autobot like infrastructure, and Shockwave's like, "Hey, that's interesting. I just so happen to have a secret computer virus that will obliterate all of the Autobots' infrastructure." And Soundwave says,
"Yeah, well, first Megatron is like, what was that?" And Soundwave's like, "I can't figure it out." And Megatron's like, "Okay, next person. Does anyone have a solution here?" And Shockwave's like, "What if we poison the planet?"
Yeah, what if we blow up all of the planet's infrastructure? He's like, Soundwave literally says like 70% of Cybertron still relies on Autobot built infrastructure, and Megatron pauses and then says, "Okay, do it anyway."
Yeah, Megatron's not happy about the fact that Shockwave has this virus. He's like, "Why do you have this?" And Shockwave's like, "Because I'm a little birthday boy, and it's my birthday."
Yeah.
Anyway, can I please put it?
Blah.
No. Yeah, and Shockwave's like, "Lord Megatron, please do not do this. Like, please help me. My budget, my family's dying." And Megatron's like, "Well, I'm not happy about it, but yeah, you can do it because no one else." And he looks right at Soundwave. He's like, "No one else is getting me any answers."
Yeah. So basically, they're gonna use Ultra Magnus's corpse as like the transmitter for this virus.
That's kind of funny, I have to admit.
Meanwhile, in the Ark, the Autobots are interrogating Jetfire, basically asking why he wants to join them, why he's there. And what I love about this scene is that everyone here is just as unimpressed with his reasoning as we were.
Yeah.
Where they're like, "So, what exactly made you change your mind?" Then he's like, "I didn't join up to wipe out a whole people." And someone asks, "Well, why did you sign up?" And he literally goes, "I don't remember."
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It is not helped either that the direction for this scene is Shatner, but worse.
Yeah. Man, Jetfire's voice is...
I don't remember. It's like, okay, great. Yeah. All of the awkwardness, none of the charm. Fantastic.
Meanwhile...
though I prefer it over how fucking bored Megatron sounds in this episode.
Man, he is not... Yeah, he is like... He's just sleeping through it.
Yeah. Phoned in.
Yeah, upload the virus, Shockwave, whatever. I can't be asked to care.
I mean, they cut back to like the virus being uploaded, and Megatron's like, "Wow, how ironic! Ultra Magnus's corpse being used to destroy the Autobots." It's like,
great, man.
Dude, you're on the brink of total victory. Why are you so bored?
Can you muster a little bit of enthusiasm for this? Like just a smidge of that old Megatron madness? No? Okay.
He's giving Ben Stein.
Yeah. So while they're talking to Jetfire, Wheeljack and Bumblebee are basically triangulating in some grand technobabble. Like, we'll triangulate the Allspark's location by laying over the old maps from the Alpha Trion protocols onto the current map. I was like, okay. And the Allspark is in the Sea of Rust, which is bad because apparently no Autobot has ever returned alive from the Sea of Rust.
But the Decepticons have.
And it's like, oh, the Seekers have it fully mapped out, and it just so happens that the former leader of the Seekers is in our brig and very willing to cooperate.
Very funny that Jetfire is defined as a Seeker in this.
I know. All of the rest of them literally look all the same, except for him.
If she breathes, she's a Thaw, except if she flies, she's a Seeker.
Exactly. Well, they mentioned Bumblebee mentions Dreadwing here too. It mentions that he is also a former Seeker. So, just more bizarrely deep cuts of like
Astro Chain, also a Seeker.
Oh, we'll get to him. I was so confused by his singular appearance in the next episode. I was like, okay, I guess he's big. He doesn't do anything. But
no,
they've got a toy to sell, so he's got to be in the show. Of course, Alita is immediately like, "Hey, Optimus, can you not go to the Sea of Rust and die?" And he's like, "No, I gotta."
These are the episodes where Alita decides to divorce Optimus and fuck women
instead.
And like,
I literally wrote my last, like where is it? One of my last notes is literally like, "Good for you, Alita. Get that dude out of your life and hook up with RC or something." Like,
is it RC or is it Chromia? I think it's Chromia.
I think it's Chromia. I think RC is on the arc.
It's Chromia and Moonracer rip.
Oh boy, we'll get there in a minute.
Boy, does she die badly.
But yeah, like literally, Otto's like, "Alita, please have faith in me." It's like, brother,
So here's, I need to spoil the next
Yeah.
episode really quick, because this pissed me off so much, because we were talking about how, like, Optimus just keeps on asking Alita to have faith, which is like a shitty without giving her any reason to do so, which is a shitty thing to do, but it is not nearly as shitty as the realization in the next episode of Optimus admitting, yes, I want to destroy the planet, basically.
Yeah, like he's literally yeah.
It's like, yes, my plan is to destroy the planet. It is better than letting it fall. It's like, he basically says, he's like, you've already destroyed the planet to Megatron, so fuck it. And it's like, what? So you weren't just like not like giving her a reason. You weren't just asking her to act on blind faith. You were actively lying to her.
Yep.
I want to kill him.
So he's like, have some faith. I'll just have Jetfire lead us out there and get the Allspark, and it'll be fine. Also, can we can I just say I am convinced that at some point Hound and Ironhide's voices got swapped, because Ironhide speaks for the first time in this scene, and he
How
just
can you
sounds. I know, he just sounds like some guy. If Hound is the one who's got like the grizzled accent and like the really kind of paranoid security officer thing, Ironhide literally sounds like he's 20 years old. How did that happen?
I mean, again, you can. It's like, fucking paper dolls. You can switch whatever you want with them. Just slide to the left.
Ironhide was the sensitive nature boy.
It's a character creator.
Ironhide was the sensitive nature boy, and Hound was the grizzled security officer, right? That's totally what it was. And I didn't watch the show.
If you go to the right person in Saints Row, the right shop, you can switch your voice whenever you want. It's the same thing. They all have the same Saints Row voice options.
Yeah. So while all this is going on, the Space Bridge crew is still working on that. They get the Space Bridge up and running, and Mirage uses his powers to do like a full building cloak, basically, but it's like killing him or whatever.
Yeah. So what happens when Shockwave sets out a virus that destroys 70% of the planet's infrastructure, is that 70% of the planet's infrastructure gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So all of the Autobot bases get immediately exposed. And all the Decepticons are like, hell yeah, brother, sweet. We're just gonna attack that shit. So, like, a whole bunch of Seekers were, like, coming over to Space Bridge, and Mirage is like, oh shit, and then, like, uses all his energy to shit out a like, huge-ass illusion. Which does work, to his credit.
He does almost give himself a heart attack, though.
Yes.
So then we go back to the Ark, and they're setting up this Sea of Rust mission. So basically, they're like, all right, we have to get the Ark flying, the Allspark in our hands, and the Space Bridge up all at the same time for this to work at all. So already we've got a really complicated plan here. Then he's like, okay, Jetfire, we wanted us to take you out to the Sea of Rust. And this is insane. Jetfire, because no one trusts him really. But then Jetfire is the one who looks at Prowl and goes, hey, you used to be a cop in Pyrex, right? I remember hearing about that thing where you put, I guess Pyrex was like a prison. He's like, you put bombs in all the inmates' heads. You can put a bomb in mine.
Suicide Squad me.
Yeah, what the, hey. Oh, hey. What the hell is going on?
All the Autobots get, like, really they're like, Prowl, what the fuck? And Prowl's like, yeah,
not my finest moment.
Did do that. I'm not proud of it, but we did put bombs in prisoners' brains. And everyone's like, what the fuck? But then they, like, look at, like, RC, in particular, like, Alita and, is it, who else is it? Is it in the scene? It's Alita, Optimus,
Prowl.
I can't remember.
I don't think RC. I think RC is there because she's gonna be interested.
There's someone else who really doesn't trust Jetfire.
Oh wait, we forgot. Of course, it's our favorite character, the most important character.
Oh,
of all
it is
time.
Cog.
It's Cog.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Cog or not. So yeah, so Alita and Cog like look at Jetfire and they're like Prowl, that's horrendous. And then they look at Jetfire and they're like, but if he's offering,
he is the one who brought it up.
Yeah, and they sure do put a bomb in Jetfire's brain.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Arc need gas. Arc need a lot of energon. Now we'll say, okay, I just want everyone to remember something about the Arc, right? It's a really, really, really big ship. And Optimus says they need...
An arc, you might say.
a really big Arc. And Optimus says they need some raw energon to fuel the Arc. And when I hear that, I think, wow, they must need a lot of energon to do that. Just put a pin in that for later. But basically, Bumblebee says, I know a guy we can steal some raw energon from, and he's actually worse than Soundwave. He's like a fucked up, eviler Soundwave.
Worse than Decepticons.
Yeah.
And his name is Sound Blaster, and I almost turned off my TV.
Now, to be fair, this is a real thing. This is a real character from Headmasters. Soundwave gets injured and reformatted into Sound Blaster.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really bad when they had Blaster.
Yeah, and well, that's because Blaster gets injured and reformatted into Twincast.
They should have reformatted him into Wave.
Just Wave.
Well, if they're doing Sound Blaster, it should have just been Wave. He should have taken the part in Soundwave.
Yeah.
Got discarded. Yeah.
So I got a question about Sound Blaster's security apparatus here. Because Bumblebee, RC, and Cog rock up. They have the last of the Autobots Energon reserves to like put up as collateral for this fake trade. And they have a guy who scans them for weaponry. Now, if you will all remember, Cog
turns into shoulder pads.
Literally turns into shoulder-mounted cannons, and they don't pick that up. What the hell is the point of something that scans for weapons if it doesn't scan for guys who turn into weapons on a planet where everybody turns into
listen,
something?
that's discriminatory if you're doing what your alt mode is. They can't help that any more than I can help my bomb-ass pussy.
Yeah. I really like the scene. So we get a bunch of like intercut stuff where it's like them talking.
Appreciate you just skipping over that one.
I do my best. They're cutting in between the Autobot team in the Sea of Rust, which is Optimus, Jetfire, Hound, Prowl, and Moonracer, who is introduced in this episode and will have a long and fruitful life.
Oh my god, she dies so badly.
She goes out pyro style.
So
That's no good.
Badly.
And so we get the cut of them like flying through this gigantic lightning storm. But I love the cuts away from that to Alita listening on the comms and getting more and more horrified as Jetfire's like, oh my god, there's a gigantic lightning storm. Don't get hit by the lightning. And there's just like explosions all over the place and screaming. And she's just like, oh my god, he's gonna die out there. Optimus is gonna like die out there.
She starts assuming that Optimus is dead basically at every opportunity in these episodes. And you know what? I don't frankly blame her.
Sound Blaster is barely worth remarking upon as a character. He's just black and red Soundwave.
He sucks. I think there's something vaguely racist about him. I just don't like him.
He's just nothing. He's just like crime guy. All of his goons are the same. They're just the impactor.
He's a failed Shockwave clone. He's a Shockwave experiment.
Yeah, apparently he's been cloning people. We never heard about that. But to be fair, that is something he likes to do historically. In the Dreamwave continuity, all of the triple changers were as the result of his
Starscream. Yeah.
So there's that. They.
Oh no, sorry. I was talking about the Rainmakers, who are Starscream clones.
Yes, that also. And of course, our good friend Sunstorm, who needs to be in something. I'm so tired. Put Sunstorm back in something. He's such a fun character.
We need more religious nuts.
Yeah, he's literally like a fucking nuclear powered fucking cult leader who believes he's God. Anyway,
he's not God. He's just God's favorite boy.
That's
his
true.
Messenger.
So briefly in this episode,
he's Christ.
He is. He's nuclear Christ. The Autobot
robot Christ.
nuclear
There's an episode title for you.
We got there. We got there early this time.
20 minutes in.
The Autobots briefly do that one scene from Fury Road with the really big, like, sandstorms.
Oh, yeah.
Because Prowl gets sucked up into one, and Jetfire saves him, and there's this really weird scene where after everyone's gotten through the wall of tornadoes, Prowl's like, oh, man, a Decepticon saving an Autobot, it really warms my heart. I feel kind of weird that I have this remote control that'll blow up your head if I want to. And Jetfire smiles and is like, but it's okay, because you'll do it for the mission. What?
Yeah, like, Jetfire's like, I don't need your things. I'm just trying to prove myself so you don't blow up my brain. Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, fair. Again, you were the one who suggested it, but still pretty fucked up.
So, this is where we start intercutting. Bumblebee's plan is... Okay, here's his genius heist plan. All right, you ready for this? It's brilliant. Exactly what you think like a scrappy young survivalist would do. Part 1, get down to the storage room under armed guard. Part 2, Cog transforms into shoulder cannons and holds the armed guard at gunpoint. Oh, I'm sorry, were you expecting a part 3? No, that's it. That's the plan. And so Sound Blaster and all his goons just surround them. And say, stupid. Hey, it's dipshit. So
stupid. But hey, they have shoulder pads.
It's like, hey, dipshit, I read the news. I know who you guys are. And by the way, here's where we unpin that conversation about how much fuel the Ark needs. Are you ready? So, the Ark. Huge ship. Gigantic ship. Bumblebee picks up 2 singular rocks of raw energon. And that's it.
But it's really dense.
I guess energon must be the most energy dense like thing in the whole entire universe, because there's no goddamn way that the Ark can be flown for even like enough to get into space with 2 energon clumps. Are you fucking kidding me?
Something energon clumps can't launch steel beams.
Anyway, everything's fucked. Elita 1 is literally just sitting in the Ark watching as everyone's calling in like, oh god help, our stealth went down, we're being attacked.
She's done. She's over it.
We get a brief glimpse of Cliffjumper in this scene. Hi Cliffjumper. I assume he dies there, so we
thought you were dead.
And this means that the Ark is revealed, so there's that. In the Sea of Rust, Optimus and the gang go down a big ravine because the Allspark is down there, but it turns out, oh my god, there's zombies down here, and they tear off Moonracer's arm. What the fuck? Episode 6. This is it. This is the big finale, by the way. This is the big impactful finale. Is everyone ready for the big impactful finale?
You're not going to put your Deus Ex Machina anywhere else, are you?
Oh, there's like 7 of those in this fucking episode, because the thing I remembered first is that Bumblebee and the gang get saved. The worst heist of all time is salvaged by the fact that the lights start flickering.
Well, I mean, I will say the timing is convenient, but they at least did establish that the infrastructure of 70% of Cybertron is being fucked by
That's
Shockwave's
true. There is
virus.
there is a much more blatant one later on.
Yeah, no. But again, it's convenient timing, but there actually is a cause for that that is established in the episode, so I'll give them that one.
So they bust through the goons. They steal like a cart, and then immediately the virus gives Bumblebee a migraine and he passes out.
And RSC's like, well, fuck, and takes control of the situation.
And once again, they did all that for 2 chunks of raw energon.
But you know what? 2. Thank God for women in this show.
Anyway, Moonracer...
If all the men were dead in this show, none of this would have happened.
That's true. Unfortunately, for the women in the show...
Moonracer dies immediately next.
Moonracer
gets ate by zombies.
She gets literally torn... If anyone read Last Stand of the Wreckers, she dies the same way that Pyro does, basically. which is literally torn limb from limb by like a ravenous gang of enemies. And she
and
gets
Optimus doesn't blink. He's like, well,
yeah, I literally wrote down she gets about as much mourning as Bayverse Jazz does. Like,
yeah. Well, that sucked. Anyway, we gotta go.
and hey, at least Optimus acknowledges her death. Nobody else does. Nobody else says a damn thing. The end of this scene is after they get the Allspark, which for some reason vaporizes all the zombies, which are called Sparkless. And they're like zombies that eat people's sparks, I guess, which is weird because they just tore Moonracer's like limbs off. They didn't eat her spark. So like, why didn't they do the thing that they're supposed to do? Anyway, they vaporize the zombies and everyone's like, oh my god, finally, I feel hope again. It's like Moonracer's corpse is literally over there. Like her fucking arms and legs and head are all separated from her torso, and you're like, oh my god, I feel hope for the first time in forever. Fucking assholes. Oh, this is when the episode starts getting to be like it's the big battle. Megatron is going to march on the Ark. The Seekers are attacking the space bridge. Optimus has the Allspark, but then Elita calls him like, hey Optimus, don't come to the Ark. Megatron's coming. You need to go to the space bridge. And so he goes, okay, Hound and I are going to go to the space bridge. Prowl and Jetfire will go to the Ark to help you guys out. Bumblebee wakes back up, and all of the Alpha Trion protocols have been wiped from his memory. And he's like surprisingly bummed about it, considering he didn't want them in the first place. I don't really know what his character arc over this season was. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, I think we did see. I think the point was that once he had like a religious awakening in his directly, like beamed into his brain, that like,
is that what it takes? I mean, with this Optimus, that is what it would take.
Yeah,
frankly.
I mean, honestly, yeah. So I mean, again, like I think if you have that like taken away from you, like I could see how that would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, the old man ghost isn't there in my brain anymore. So we get a big battle. Jetfire and Starscream have a little tussle before the Seekers get called away to attack the space bridge. There's a billion reflectors in this scene. They're just reusing models left and right. It don't matter anymore. Literally, Spinister is in the next scene, and we saw him die.
He died for real.
And as I like alluded to before, there's a scene during this Arc battle where Astro Train appears, and I didn't
even notice.
Exactly, because he's literally on screen for 3 seconds, and he's really big for some reason. Like,
he's a triple changer. They're large.
Yeah, but he's never been like that. He's never been like Godzilla big. But he doesn't do anything. He just shows up and all the adults look concerned, but like nothing happens. But we got to sell that Astro Train toy, you know? Then, wow, yeah, my notes for this episode were very brief because it's all just shooting and action. But we did one reprieve, quote unquote, which is holy shit. Okay, so Optimus and Megatron meet up on the way to the space bridge, right? And this is their big, think about the classic exchanges in the Transformers 86 movie, right? Like iconic, quoted forever and ever.
Megatron realizes that Optimus is going to take the Allspark off the planet. It's like, are you fucking nuts? You're gonna kill all of us. And this is again where Optimus says, we're already dead thanks to you, so fuck it. It's like, they literally, dude.
While it's cutting back and forth between all these battles, literally it's them going, no, you're worse. No, you're worse. No, you're worse. Like,
stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Fuck.
Stop killing yourself. Stop killing yourself.
Holy shit.
Yeah, these guys suck.
The speeches are so, once again, that shit they cooked in 86. There's a reason it's quoted in everything forever, right?
Here's the thing. It may be that the writing isn't that bad. I just can't tell because the voice direction is so bad. Yeah. I don't want to listen to it. And,
Yeah.
like, that's really the thing. It's like, man, they were coked out of their brains in 84 to 86. And, like, they still got star performances out of Frank Welker and Peter Cullen. So how is this what's happening here?
Well, you see, those are corny. We can't have that. Those are like fun.
That's true. This is serious and realistic. This is what war would really be like. Fuck off.
And we get to the next part. So Elita 1 launches the Ark and starts flying it towards the space bridge. At the space bridge, there's a big battle. An impactor takes a bullet for Ratchet and dies in his arms.
But, like, also, like, Ratchet doesn't say or stop or
Nope.
do anything.
He has like
He's just
he has like a face moment, but that's it. He doesn't like say anything.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, well, bye, Impactor. What the fuck? That was your lover!
Yeah. Once again, if anyone wants to read anything that does this, goes for this tone with something with a lot more like competence, just go read Last Stand of the Wreckers. I think it's what this show wants to be, but it
wants to be like a serious. I feel like the show. Here's the thing, I don't think the show wanted to be lighted-hearted enough to want to be MASH.
Yeah,
but
it didn't want to be like. Yeah.
I do think MASH is what Last Stand of the Wreckers wanted to be, and
Yes.
like tried to be, which is like. But anyway, yeah, no, this is like. This show wants to be like Platoon.
Yeah, and it's failing on all counts.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, I mean, what else? So this is the part where Optimus literally does like a platforming segment. Like the camera switches to. It looks like he's playing Donkey Kong. He is literally vaulting up platforms and climbing girders and stuff. And then Megatron tackles him.
Megatron's throwing barrels at him.
Literally, okay, this is like they're clashing over the Allspark. Instead of two great leaders like battling over the planet's future, this looks way more like when two kids are like wrestling to see who gets to use the good Xbox controller.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
So bad. Then Bumblebee distracts Megatron long enough for Optimus to put the Allspark into deep space through the space bridge. So that's Cybertron dead, pretty much. But hey, we've been forgetting something throughout this whole show. All of these toy lines usually have like a big centerpiece toy, right? Like there's a Titan class figure that's like the really big high priced one, the really detailed one, right? And this year they're selling a big Titan class Omega Supreme. Now the problem is he hasn't been in the show. But we had one conversation with the Guardians and it didn't really go anywhere. And we also we don't really know what the Guardians do, and we don't, Omega Supreme literally doesn't say why he does what he's about to do. He just literally says, "My reasons are my own." It's like, okay, man, do you want to tell us what they are? Like why are you doing this? Anyway, Omega Supreme literally falls out of the sky and starts blowing up the Decepticons. Like he just shows up.
Does he like smack Megatron? Like
he literally does.
Yeah.
Like smack him out of the sky, and he literally like grabs Seekers and crushes them. Like I cannot stress enough if by God Primus's will you are not watching along with us, because you shouldn't be. He literally just shows up.
I cannot emphasize enough how I was busy booking a hotel for an anime convention while watching them.
And then you look over and you go, wait, what the hell?
No, so I wasn't paying attention at all. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I went back to booking my hotel for Metricon.
And like, there's just no, the Autobots don't even, the Autobots.
The Autobots?
The Autobot. Look, I just had oral surgery. Lay off.
Eat my shorts.
No, well, yeah, eat my, what's a metal that starts with, like, SH? There isn't one.
Steel.
Eat my steel shorts? So, but like literally the Autobots don't say anything. Megatron's the one who goes, Omega Supreme, what are you doing here on this Walmart shelf for MSRP $149.99? I mean, why are you attacking us? And he goes, I don't know.
He goes, shut up.
He literally says, my reasons are my own, Megatron. He basically says, because fuck you.
Because shut up.
So this is where we get our big ending. This is where we get the big Optim and Lita breakups. Like, first of all, Red Alert falls down a hole. I thought he died. I thought for a minute Red Alert got killed by flywheels, and I was like, good lord. But no, he's fine. He shows up later. But Alita's like, Optimus, I can't go with you. I need to stay behind to look after what's left of Cybertron.
Like, the mood of it is, Optimus, I refuse to go with you at this point.
Optimus,
I've lost all faith in you. And, like, good for fucking her.
How can you not at this point, right? Like, look at all he's fucked up.
He literally was going, he's like, he very well might. If they survive the next 5 minutes of viewing, if we get to the next episode, it is only because Optimus is supremely lucky. Because he also fully believes that what he is doing, taking the Allspark off of Cybertron, is going to destroy Cybertron.
Yeah, he knows. He's just like, well, it's better than letting Megatron have. It's like, well,
yes.
I guess.
So not only is he, like, is Alita divorcing him, but even now, he's not telling her, you were right, this is going to destroy Cybertron, where you're staying.
And she even, like, she doesn't think, oh, she says this isn't the life we wanted, but it's one worth fighting for thing. She repeats the conversation they had a few episodes ago, but, like, it doesn't hit because this Optimus sucks ass. And their entire relationship has been Alita being, I'm really worried about this. I'm worried about what you're doing. I wish you'd talk to me. I wish you'd think about what you do. And Optimus going, why don't you believe in me? Why don't you have any faith in me?
I've been watching a lot of Moral Oral recently.
Man, if any relationship in any show can be like, man, this reminds me of Moral Oral. Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. No. But it really is like this idea of like white Christian nationalism where it's like the husband is always right and the woman has like a moral failing by not believing in him, so she's sentenced to die. Like, that's what this reads as.
Fucking hell, I hate this Optimus so much.
I want him dead. I want Megatron to win, even if he's bored doing it.
I think Sam was talking about this earlier about, like, why Optimus as a character is often so done wrong. And specifically the things he brought up were the Bayverse and the Energon ones. And, like, to be fair, those are two good comparisons so that they both suck in different ways. But I think it's possible to have. They are kind of similar into this one, in that they are just like such a departure. Energon Optimus less so, because everyone in that show is a complete fucking idiot. So it's not like anyone looks good there. But I think it's possible to write Optimus Prime in a way where he sucks, but it's in, like, an interesting way. I feel that way about IDW Optimus Prime. I feel that way about Earthspark Optimus Prime when I'm feeling a bit more generous towards that character's writing. Like, you can do it. They didn't do it here. They wrote him bad, I think, is the problem. They didn't. I don't think it's on purpose that he's this fucking stupid.
No, neither do I.
Like, they just fucked up. Anyway, so the arc. This is the best part. The Ark flies to the space bridge. The space bridge explodes. And literally the second afterwards, Alita's like, oh, he's dead for sure.
Yeah, and Alita looks at, like, Red Alert and Chromia, who are, like, the only people who stayed behind with her. And she's like, well, let us all have a moment of silence for every brave Autobot that died on that arc.
Yep. Wait a minute. This is just the beginning of More Than Meets the Eye, too. They just keep cribbing from better shit. They said this time it wasn't blown up on purpose. So Yeah, Jetfire's still there. He's like, hey guys, you're not alone. You got me. And everyone looks kind of unenthused about that. But of course, the Ark didn't blow up. It's floating through deep space, and Teletrain 1's like, warning, warning, unknown craft approaching. It's like, oh god, what could it be? You'll have to tune in next time to Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise to find out.
Which again will not be for another month.
Two more, yeah, another month. I thought it was 2 weeks.
No, because we're skipping next week because we're not going to start it, and then I'm out the following 2 weeks.
Okay, so we'll keep you all in suspense.
I mean, unless you want to do the first episode next week, we can do that. But
no, I'd rather put a gap between 2 seasons than.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, I'm going to be out.
Plus, I'll be able to, forget how much I hate the show. Then when I come back, all of the anger will come bubbling back up.
Oh, actually, I forgot. It's gonna be 3 weeks that I'm out because I have a professional conference I have to go as soon as I get back from my trip. So it will be a month.
I'm sure that'll be much more exciting than watching Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise.
It will be. I'm going to Memphis. It'll be great.
That is cool. We have some questions on the Discord.
Sure do. Do you want me to do them?
Please do.
That your prompt to me?
That is the yes and. That's not what this is at all. I am just saying words.
Me Gwimwalk Love You asks, which Cybertronian would you most want to see as a chipified platformer player character? Shockwave. I'd like to see how they handle his tits.
He's just like it's like big head, big tits.
It's like one of those it's like one of those hentai games. Where like when you like lose all your HP, you get like fucked to death.
Oh boy, I can't wait to play Shockwave's Hentai Dungeon when I get home from work today. I'm not naming.
Listen,
I
know a lot of people who would be into that shit, so don't even joke.
I'm not naming the episode Shockwave's Hentai Dungeon as much as I want to.
You can. You have time to think about it.
I have time to consider making a huge mistake.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Listen, we had something called episode called Optimus Prime's Lubricated Thighs. We can do
true.
Shockwave's Hentai Dungeon.
There are no rules. Yeah, fuck it. My answer for this would actually be Skylinks. Well, no, actually, no, not Skylinks. He wouldn't be the player character. Who's cute?
Bumblebee.
No. Fuck him.
Jeez.
That guy gets too much playtime already. I'm sick of his shit.
Cute?
I'm sick of that little yellow fucker.
Beachcomber.
All right? Yes. Beachcomber. Beachcomber's chill day.
Yeah.
It's about.
Cool Beachcomber has a chill day.
Exactly. It's like the fucking the Bit Trip Runner games. That'd be good. But yeah, no, the actual answer is Shockwave's Hentai Dungeon.
I'm gonna skip the next one because I don't understand it.
Oh, it's just about how every Seeker, there's like a billion Skywarps because the only colors that the Seekers can be are black
or purple.
So
Yeah,
it's like, is that Skywarp? No, I can't tell. I don't know if Skywarp is alive or not because all of them just look like Skywarp.
Nero from Disney Minus asks, how was it like for you when you started hearing the voices of God and all of the past leaders of the world, like the rest of us when we hit puberty?
That is what happened to Bumblebee, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I didn't go through puberty yet because that didn't happen to me.
Well, I still haven't.
Puberty is?
I still haven't burned at the stake, but I hear that's like big on the Joan of Arc, trajectory.
Yeah, it's like on the to-do list.
Yeah. Would this heist have been better if it was just full cloth ripped off from that one heist led by Joseph Stalin?
What?
The one where one of the thieves was able to just ride off with all of the stolen money because he told one of the Russian officers trying to stop the heist and catch the communist thieves, I'm higher ranked than you. Trust me, bro.
It would have been better if it was literally anything. Their plan was to just get taken down to the room with all the money in it and point a gun at the guy pointing guns at them and say, we're going to take your money now.
This
That's
was
not
real Ocean's 2.
This is like Ocean's .5.
Yeah. Geist. Was Sound Blaster's Geist asks, was Sound Blaster's horrible voice modulation better or worse than Soundwave's horrible voice modulation in your opinion?
That's the
I
thing.
think Sound-
He doesn't even really sound like Soundwave.
No, but the question is, does he sound worse?
No,
And
because I
no.
think Soundwave sounds so bad in this show.
Oh, I disagree.
Really?
Because I think Soundwave sounds like a bad Soundwave, but I don't mind listening to his voice as like an entity. Whereas I find Sound Blast's voice fairly nails on a chalkboard.
See, I didn't even like... He was such a non-presence to me. His voice just like rolled over me. I cannot bring to mind what Sound Blaster
I mean, it was
sounds
like another one of these super gravelly ones, but like, for better or for worse. And I know we have our issues with it. Again, I don't think Soundwave is a good Soundwave voice, but like, at least the fact that it's not the lowest, graveliest voice this guy can like muster up at least makes him distinct.
Yeah.
Worst for Cybertron, chat asks, do either of y'all even remember Hotlink? TF Wiki claims he's a main voice character in the show, up there next to Thundercracker and Astro Train. Don't ask. Okay, Nero's the one to ask for this. I'm never going to have the answer to like extremely obscure characters.
Hotlink is a seeker. Hotlink. Okay. Do you remember?
No.
The first. Okay. No. You will remember this. The very first episode of G1, More Than Meets the Eye, Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
The part where there's a seeker with a flamethrower that shoots at Wheeljack and Bumblebee.
Okay. Yeah.
That guy is Hotlink, and he's apparently in the show. He must be one of the 75,000 Skywarps, because guess what? He's purple and black. Presumably he said something. I just think it's really funny that his name is Hotlink. But the even funnier thing is, there's a red seeker. You want to know what his name is? Redwing.
We did talk about this before.
I hate all of I hate. Okay, here's the seekers that I respect. The Elite Trine. I like all those guys. Coneheads slightly less, but I respect their place, and I think they have fun designs and can be fun characters.
Rainmakers.
Rainmakers and Sunstorm. I like those guys. Whenever you get past them, that's when you're in like, I don't recognize you as a real guy. You are fake to me. You are
the one exception
seekers.
I will say is like Slipstream, who sometimes is a rainmaker, but like very often isn't.
Slipstream is Slipstream are the ones like she's a very late addition, and she's never really included in all of these groups. She's like her own separate thing. So yes, I will acquiesce to her. But like Hotlink, Redwing, who fucking cares about these guys?
Yeah,
fuck you.
Slipstream Sam Netflix version asks, to palate cleanse a bit, what's your favorite heist movie?
Oh man,
I have to say Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8 is a lot of fun. It's really great if you want to look at Cate Blanchett wear a lot of really snazzy outfits.
And Anne Hathaway, are you kidding me?
That's true.
My God. Awkwafina is unfortunately in it, which isn't great.
It was a movie made between like 2016 and 2021, so like Awkwafina had to be in it contractually or else it wouldn't have gotten made.
It was earlier than that, because I remember walking into the set for it when I was at a job in like 2016. It could not have been later than 2017. I walked into that set. I saw Miss Riri.
That's amazing.
This is what living in New York is like, folks. Sometimes you go to Central Park for your lunch break, and sometimes you run into Riri.
Ocean's 11 was a lot. I'm trying to remember like how many heist movies have I seen. I think actually I think this counts. I think my answer is The Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. It's a classic to me. My roommate showed it to me right after I moved in. She was like, "This is one of my favorite movies of all time," and I knew about it. I had never seen it. I was like, "Damn, this is a good movie."
Yeah,
they sure do a Sting in that one. But I think I would have to say the Sting. And if I had to, the other half of this question is, what one Transformer would you add to it if you had the option? I mean, look, you could put any of them in there and just say they were in their alternate mode the whole time. You know, that's a secret. Who would you? You know, I think the more interesting thing is, who would you put in Ocean's 8 as a character? Got to be a girl Transformer, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, got to
be on theme.
I was gonna say RC, probably.
Which version of RC?
G1.
Original flavor?
G1. If I was gonna say,
not Earthspark.
Nah, G1.
All right, like G1 cartoon RC.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of G1 RCs out there.
And if I was going to say any of them, I would have said them. Also, my other favorite heist movie is The Usual Suspects, but we don't talk about that anymore because of Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
But The Usual Suspects, I have to say, is like an incredible movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Next. From Veer again. Do you think that when that one seeker that Jetfire shot got back to base, Starscream sat them down, had them tell everything that happened, then shot them multiple times and turned to camera other seekers and say, I can't believe Jetfire would do this?
That was Skywarp, apparently. Like, we joke about all the Skywarp. That was supposed to be Skywarp, and he did die in Starscream's arms, I guess.
Yes.
I must remind everyone.
He was named in that episode.
One single shot to the back. What the hell is Jetfire's gun packing?
I mean, again, look at all the missiles and flares he has in his backpack, so...
That fucking double-barreled gun he's got could, like, kill God, apparently.
Yeah, it's a sawed-off shotty.
Jesus.
From Geist again, are you glad this part is over, or too busy dreading the next two parts of it to enjoy its end?
I mean, look, I know
we're having a month break.
I know at least that it gets more interesting in the future. Like I said,
Does it?
I know that like the Quintessons show up, and also there's some weird time shit with the Beast Wars character in Kingdom. Like, stuff eventually happens. It isn't just hanging out on dusty ass Cybertron. So like, it's a change of pace, if nothing else. Do I expect it to improve in any way? No, but at least it won't be the same thing.
I'm just thinking about the fact that I'm going on vacation. I really don't care about any of this.
It's gone from your mind.
It's already left my brain. Chet asks, what's your favorite member of the Decepticons? Megatron, Soundwave, Starstream, Reflector, Skywarp, Reflector, Skywarp, Reflector, Shockwave. Good question, Chet.
I really liked Reflector number 7. I thought he showed a lot of moxie.
Oh, man.
Oh, but Skywarp number 3 had so many good character moments.
It's true, and they really developed his character in a really satisfying arc. Actually, my favorite is Spinister. Next question.
Yeah, it's funny that he's in the show.
Yeah. Haybine asks, is War for Cybertron Siege, Snack Snyder's Transformers, Grim, Grey, Edgy, Characters Are Wrong, etc. Release the Rooster Cut?
Oh, man. It is, it is sort of, I think it is that same impulse that created, like, Man of Steel, right? Of the, like, I have to make this serious. I have to make it, like, this is my grandpa's Superman or whatever. And that's, again, it's never interesting.
It does just feel like fan fiction without the charm of reading fan fiction. Like, I cannot help but think if this was written down in prose, it'd be a much more enjoyable experience because it really reads as though that was how it was intended to be written.
Yeah.
As someone who writes a lot of fan fiction, who went to college for creative writing, who specialized in college in screenwriting when I was there is a significant difference between how you write for screen and for stage and for graphic novels and for prose. All those things are very, very different. And this feels like it was written for prose and then adapted to screen, but they didn't actually do like the adaptation part of that process. They just sort of took it whole cloth, and it doesn't work that way. Anyway. Second part of the question, how would that be theoretically better and objectively Wink worse? Release, I mean, it would be objectively worse. Right. No, it'd be objectively worse because there'd be more of it. Are you shitting me?
It'd be 4 hours long.
I'm gonna blow my brains out.
And like I said, a lot more slow-mo.
From Megatron's crusty lips, Sabrina.
They really are so crusty in this show. Like I think we had an episode in Energon called Megatron's dry ass lips or something. No, this is the real one.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
When watching Moonracer's death at the beginning of Ep 6, I could not help but laugh. What scenes in various media, you can keep it to Transformers media if you wish, hangs in your head to try to go for a specific dramatic feeling, but ended up being hilarious. I mean, there's like a lot of B horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, the classic is they're eating her and they're gonna eat me. Oh my god.
No, I mean, that's worse than B. I'm not talking about like the Trolls 2. I'm not talking about The Room. I'm not talking about like the classic bad movies. There's like a bunch of B horror movies. Or I guess like you know what the big ones are like the animal ones. So like for me, like the one that really sticks out is like Piranha 3D.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like this is goofy. It's like, these are freshwater fish. They're in the Amazon River. What are they doing at this beach? They're dead in that water.
I think of like something of that tier that I've seen recently where like something that's meant to be dramatic and weighty or like scary that doesn't hit right. Whenever I get asked a question that needs me to recall anything specific, I forget every piece of media that I've ever watched. So that's kind of the problem here. My brain is that of an infant.
Yeah. One of the other really good, like, B horror, like, animal horror movies is, The Meg.
No, fuck.
Like, The Meg has, like, The Meg and The Meg 2. I've watched both of them. Both of them I watched on planes. Excellent plane viewing, I have to say.
Yeah, I was about to say, that feels like a good plane movie.
Excellent plane viewing, I have to say. But, like, both of those movies have, like, a lot of 555, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's oi, it's me, Jason Statham. I'm gonna fight a big shark. Oi,
what if there was a dinosaur?
It's me, Jason Statham. Oi, it's a big squid now, isn't it?
Yeah. Also from Sabrina, which Sound Blaster bodyguard was your favorite? Impactor, or Impactor? My personal favorite was Impactor.
They love reusing character models in this show so
bad.
much.
It's like as egregious as G1 was.
Yeah, at least with G1 they had to like draw some guys.
Reconsider. Oh, you mean because it was like not CG?
Yeah, and also they were all like different characters.
Right,
these
I was
are all
just gonna say
nameless goons. No, what this reminds me more of is the like Frankenstein together generics from Energon that are all just like seven different character models stuck
or just
together.
like all the Omnicrons at the end and like the whole army, the whole masses, rivers of Omnicrons that are infinite
the infinite armies of strong arms that are all just the same guy.
Yeah. With OP's plan to kill the world, do the roles change at the end with Meg trying to save Cybertron from a guaranteed total extinction event, or is OP justified in his TBK, total biome kill?
I mean...
no, he's not. And I am rooting for Megatron to kill this motherfucker.
Once again, the show doesn't do the work of saying, well, what does Megatron want? Because he seems to want a different thing in every scene he's in. And Optimus never offers any sort of rebuttal or any real, like,
Optimus
indication
has no explanation or excuse for fuck all.
No, like, he never offers what he's fighting for either. He just says, "Well, I'm fighting against Megatron." But like, what are you fighting for? You can't just say freedom is the right of all sentient beings. I want to know what your world, what your future would look like. And it just
Optimus, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Like that, once again, I return to that scene where Impactor is like fucking yelling at him about how horrible the previous regime was, and his response isn't to engage him in dialogue, it's just to say shut up. It's like, okay,
yeah,
I'm not taking you seriously as a character anymore.
I can't believe you ever did.
It was whatever threads of this being Optimus Prime were just like cut in that scene. It's like, oh, this is just some asshole.
Just like the Fates in Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Omega Supreme fighting the Decepticons in this instance when Opie is literally going to kill the planet? I cannot stress this enough.
I sure wish he told us. Instead, he just goes, no.
Your guess is as good as mine.
He may as well just I'm not really sure. I've got to sell that toy, Megatron.
And finally,
I'm fulfilling my contractual obligation to be in this show.
Finally, from Veer, we keep being told about the war between the autonomous robots and deceptive constructs, but when are we going to be told about the war between the Automimes and Decepticlowns?
I wish Optimus Prime was an Automime. Maybe then he'd shut the fuck up.
I think you mean the Autothoughts.
Yeah.
Also. And you hear it every time we start this.
We
podcast.
We are the record of the war between the Autothoughts and the Decepticlans.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the Maximilfs and the Predaclans. Beast Wars, it's still around. We're gonna get back to it eventually, folks. Don't worry.
We changed the Preda thing as well.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember what it was. I'll have to go back and listen. Whenever we get around to Beast Wars Season 2.
Well, folks.
Or maybe we'll switch over to that for Kingdom, because all of the Beast Wars characters are in that show for some reason.
Oh, God. No, we won't. We won't. I'm making an executive decision. But we have been Prime Cuts. You can listen to us at Prime Cuts Pod on Blue Sky. You can also find us on the Noise Space Network at noisepace.xyz, along with a bunch of other great shows. I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky. Technically, my account is still up on Twitter, but I'm not using it anymore because fuck that guy. At Optimum on Prime, which is my funny robot internet joke. I also have another podcast called Pot of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! And you should give that a listen if you're into that.
I'm Nero. You can follow me on Blue Sky, Nero Wyvern, bluesky.social. Yeah, I'm still on Twitter, technically. Nero Wyvern or Dragon Suture, but, I'm not really active on there. Cyclonus at the 5, with a 5 at the end of it, on Tumblr. And I will someday be able to talk about future projects. It's been quite a few months, It's been busy in many ways, but it's out there. It's coming in the distance. Just like Omega Supreme dropping out of the sky for literally no reason. No, he literally just didn't give a reason. Did we plug Noise Space at XYZ? Because we were out there.
Yes,
we're
did.
on that shit.
I did it.
Well, folks, as we take a 3-week vacation from the...
4 week.
As we take a 4-week vacation...
4 weeks. It's next week, and then the following 3 weeks, I will be out of town.
As we take a month away from the world of the War for Cybertron trilogy, well, let's just think about all of the monumentous events that have occurred over the course of our viewing, such as, and of course we can't forget, and naturally,
say what you're going to do in Transform and Roll Out. Can we please?
I am going to drop out of the. I am going to drop out of the sky and destroy the Decepticons for no discernible reason. Transform and Roll Out.
I'm going to take you down with me, hand in unlovable hand. Transform and Roll Out.
Peach.
Peach.